I'm not definitely sure where Miss Alwyn is. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can get her. Okay, so we have online, we have Miss Perusa, our guidance counselor. Thank you, Miss Perusa. I know you're not feeling the best, but you press your way. So we want to tell you we appreciate you. Miss Jackson, she's the one that did the presentation. So I'm gonna share it. Miss Jackson, I know you're just getting home, so I'm gonna share it. Hold on one second. Okay. Hold on one second. Ms. Jackson, I'm making you co-host also, so you can just let people in. And Ms. Perusa, you have that option. You have that that leeway too to let people in. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Can everybody see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Putting an eye out on the chat.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we're gonna tag team. Me and Ms. Perusa are gonna tag team and go through all the slides. The reason why we wanted to have this parent meeting is for 8th grade parents to know the requirements for graduation. We know 8th grade is a big year. If you're going into middle school, going into high school. They're already in middle school. They're going into high school, and we got a late start. We should have started a little bit earlier. Usually October, November. We usually start to start getting things together about graduation, prom, senior trip, and all that other good stuff. Due to the pandemic, a lot of things has to be kind of curved a little bit, but we still want the 8th graders to have a great experience in 8th grade. So there's definitely some requirements that 8th grade has to accomplish and finish to go on to high school. Okay. So Ms. Alwyn, would you like to welcome our parents? Or Ms. Hammond?
Sure. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. This is the part of, we love what we do, but we certainly love this type of meeting because we know that this is a great time that we're gearing up for a celebration, and we just want to tell you what it is we need to do to make sure your children are at graduation and that we are moving in the right direction. And so I'm very happy that the teachers decided to have this meeting today so that you can know right now in January what we need to do to get your children on that trajectory to graduate and move on into high school. We thank you for coming today. We keep announcing and reiterating to your children in 8th grade that graduation is coming up. If you have any missing assignments, you need to get it done. Ms. Perusa has been working very nicely in getting the children ready for their high schools for next year. And so if you have not met with Ms. Perusa, or if your children have not met to choose high schools, then this would be a great opportunity to meet with her to get an appointment so that you can speak to your choose a high school for your children. Thank you all for coming tonight. And yes, 308 is popping, 308 rocks, and we appreciate you being here with us tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Alwyn. Thank you. Okay, so 8th graders, are you prepared for school? What is the requirement to be prepared for school? Come in with your backpacks, your books, your DOE issued device, fully charged. Being organized. Scholars should be dressed in full uniform. It consists of the navy blue polo shirt and the navy blue pants. Uniforms, shirts are $10 for short sleeve and $12 for long sleeve. If you would like to purchase uniform shirts, please contact me. Someone can put my email in the chat, and we can make sure you get your shirts as soon as possible. We do have shirts in the building on hand. But one of the major things that our scholars are not bringing to school are their DOE devices. If their devices are broken If they are cracked screen or whatever, please send them in so we can call in a ticket so they can either be replaced or get fixed. If you lost your device, if the device is lost, you have to go to the police department and fill out a police report. Once you get that police report, you bring it back to me and we would turn it into the system. I'm not definitely sure the turnaround time of how long it would take to get a new device. But parents, please remember, you signed an agreement form for those devices. So you are responsible for those devices. So if the devices are broken or stolen or whatever the case may be, please contact the school. You can contact myself and we can get things rolling to make sure your child have a DOE issued device. Our number one thing is to make sure our students are being safe. Scholars must wear their mask every day, completely covered their mouth and their nose at all times. Keep in mind that there's still a pandemic and we must be safe. I know some of the scholars, they have been eating in their classroom for these last couple of weeks, but it will be a time that we go back in the cafeteria. So when the scholars are talking with their friends, we have every other seat, we, social distance. But when they're eating, they can take their mask down. But when they're just talking with their friends or hanging out or, socializing, they must have their mask on. This is very important. We all need a break sometimes. Sometimes you need to walk away, and we do give those students breaks. But please, pandemic is still real. We need everyone, please, wearing your mask. Parents, please talk to your children. I know that some students were playing games, were popping each other masks. This is a safety issue. So we want to make sure everyone is being safe. Okay, cell phones. Ms. Peruzzi, you want to talk about cell phones?
Of course. We all can't put our cell phones down. I see it even with myself. They are a major distraction, and they also are filled with germs, and they're not helpful when it comes in terms of having the students having to do work and they're busy involved in something that's going on social media. So if your child is going to have a cell phone, they have to submit it in when they come into school. They will get it at the end of the day. We do not want to keep your phones, but we understand some parents really want their child to have a phone with them. And if you need to contact your child or your child needs to speak to you, come to me, call the main office. We never prevent parents from talking to their children. That's it. If anyone has any questions, we have had a no cell phone policy from day one, as long as I've been here, which is 6 years. It is a huge distraction. And sometimes cell phones break too. And at that point, who's going to pay for it? I mean, it would be the child's responsibility, the family's responsibility. That's why we do not want cell phones in the school. It is a distraction filled with germs, and it could break. If you need to contact your child, call the school. We're always available.
And also with cell phones, parents, about social media and all the things that come with social media. And we want to eliminate those problems. Kids recording each other and, doing bullying and all the other stuff that comes with cell phones. So we want to keep, allow you to be mindful of those things. So this is the reason why we're asking that cell phones be turned in the morning, and they will be distributed before they go home in the evening.
I'll continue.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we have a no tolerance on bullying and harassment. How can I report bullying or sexual harassment? That is actually an excellent question. You can always contact the school. But what if my child is considered? I'm sorry, I hear, okay. But then there's also that snitch culture where kids don't want to be thought of as a snitch. No one will find out who's making the report. We have cameras, we have adults in the building, If we're mindful that something is happening, we're going to do something about it. And if a situation arises, if your child tells you about something that is happening to him or her or them, and we address it, if that situation continues after we've addressed it, we need to hear about it. Oftentimes, I find that a child will report something or a parent will report something, and we'll do everything to address it. We leave the children with them coming to an understanding of being either like a friend or an acquaintance or a classmate. After that, something down the line falls apart and they're back to the same situation that they were at before. If we're not told about that, we might not know that that is happening. It may be happening in the hallways. It may be happening on their way to and from school. It may be happening online. We need to know about it. So it's not that nothing is being done. It's that the reports need to continue to come in. We have teachers in the classroom, sometimes one, sometimes two. We could have up to 20, 23 kids in a classroom. It is not possible for someone to absolutely see everything. So if we are made aware of it, that way we could be mindful to keep an eye out for these things. So if you have a child that is being bullied or harassed, please do not hesitate to contact the school, ask to speak to any administrator, and it will be dealt with immediately. There is also, I'm going to put a link in the chat. If, let's say, your child tells you about this and it's on a weekend and you're like me, if I don't do it right now, it's never going to get done. Well, I'm going to post a link in the chat, and that is where you make a report of bullying or harassment, and it will be sent to us from the district. Okay, does anyone have any questions? Okay, great. Thank you.
Oh, this is what you were talking about.
Okay. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, you can report an incident involving yourself, your child, or any student who is being bullied or harassed. You could tell a teacher, another staff member. You could fill out a form by going to the school counselor or to the dean, or you could file the complaint online. After the complaint is filed, you'll find out what's going on. I mean, we will contact you, let you know how the situation was handled. We cannot tell you specific information about the other child, but please know that if you're not hearing about it, it doesn't mean that nothing is happening. It just has to do with the confidentiality for that student, okay? With every behavior, there's a reason behind that behavior. So sometimes when bullying is happening, it may not be because of the child. It could be about other things. So reporting it could end up being very helpful to that child or that family. So please don't hesitate to report, even if you have like the smallest idea about it, and even if it happens outside of school, because we all know things that happen outside of school to end up coming into school to get resolved. So it's important that we, as the adults in the building, are made aware of it.
Okay, so thank you, Ms. Perusa. Class Dojo and Google Classroom. Parents, if you are not connected to Class Dojo, and if your child is not connected to Google Classroom, I need you to contact the school as soon as possible. We want to make sure that everyone, all the parents are connected to these platforms. A lot of information is being dished out every single day. And it's beneficial for not only for our school, but it's beneficial for each individual child. Be sure to check Cash Jojo every day. I know, sometimes the notifications can be annoying, so people take their notifications off, and that's fine. But try to stay, at least once a day or once every 2 days to check Class Dojo for updated information about meetings in the district, things that's going on in the school. We know that we're in a pandemic, so we send notifications out during Class JoJo about being exposed to the coronavirus, in the classroom or anything of that sort. So we want to make sure that our parents are staying connected, and you're not getting secondhand information. You're getting it straight from the source. Also, Google Classroom is where the teachers put the students' assignments up of reports or projects or exams or whatever the case may be. So parents, please stay connected with Google Classroom as well. If your child is missing any assignments, remember this is 8th grade. If your child is missing assignments and if your child is not doing what they need to do, they're not going to walk. So we want to prevent that. We want every child to walk. We want everyone to have their cap and gown and walking and having a good time and celebrating it. But there's requirements that needs to be done beforehand. So please stay connected. We do have Regents Preps on Saturday.
Wait, Ms. Blake, I'm so sorry. Parents, if you want to know what your child is missing in class, you don't have to click on every single class on Google Classroom. All you have to do is once you sign in to Google Classroom, on the top left of the screen are the 3 dashes. That's called the hamburger. You click on the 3 dashes and a pop-up menu appears. On that pop-up menu, there is a to-do. If you click on the to-do, the screen will then go to the assignments and it will say completed and missing and submitted. So look at the missing on the top middle. That will tell you if your child is missing any assignments on Google Classroom and for all the classes that your child is involved in.
And parents, please don't wait until May, June, and that's when the students want to do all the makeup assignments. That's going to be a little bit too late. So you need to get it done now. If you're missing any assignments, the teachers are being very lenient. They are giving you the opportunity to make up those assignments. We understand that a lot of things are going on. Some classes will shut down. It's a lot of things that were going on. So we are, giving you guys time to get those assignments done, but it has to get done. Regents Prep students, 8th grade students have an opportunity to take the living environment and the algebra Regents. So we do have Saturday Regents Prep from 9 to 11 and it's virtual. So if you have if you need more information, you can contact the teacher and they can give you the link or, they can show you, what to do next. I'm encouraging all students to go to those classes. It will be a great thing for you to have those 2 Regents under your belt before you even get to high school, and you don't have to worry about those classes because you already did it. So it's a great opportunity. So take advantage of that opportunity. Ms. Peruzzi, you want to talk about high school applications?
Yes. So I think by now we all have created our My Schools account, and we've all been exploring through the directory all the different programs that the DOE has to offer. There's over 700 of them, and I know it is overwhelming. But remember, not only are you choosing 12 programs, but you can narrow it down, that 700, by looking at the location, right? How is the neighborhood, right? Where's the neighborhood? Where is it located? How far is it? Looking at the travel time. How long is my child going to have to travel to get there? What if I need to get there for an emergency? Am I going to be able to make it on time as well? And then you're going to look at the different sports and clubs that they have to offer. And of course, the number one, the program. Is this a program that my child is interested in? And again, if your child's not interested in that program or feels that he or she or they have made a mistake after doing 9th grade, at one point, they do get an opportunity to apply to another high school. But let's try to avoid doing that because this whole application process is a nightmare. So the application process is going to be opening up this month and due this month, the 26th. So everyone should be having their favorites already put in their favorite list and clicking and dragging the choices into their application and putting them in order of priority. Number 1 is the one you want to go above all else. Number 2 is what you would want to go after that if you couldn't have number one, and so on and so forth. Many times people got accepted to their fourth pick and said, oh, but I really wanted my sixth pick. Well, six should have then been third, right? So if six was more than four, you weren't putting them in priority. So don't forget, you have my contact information. You all have me on a Class Dojo under the high school applications page class that I've created. And you all have my email and you can call the school, but not right now because I'm out. But there's always a way to contact me. And that's it. I'll be calling you all again shortly.
Okay, so the My Student account, parents, if you have not signed up for this account, I'm encouraging you to please sign up. You can contact me and I can give you the form with the code on it for each individual student. The My School account is very, very important. You can take the Parent University courses. You can report bullying on there. You could reset your child's DOE account password. I'm sorry, somebody's coming in. You can look at your report cards. As everyone should know by now, we are not printing out report cards. Report cards are on the My Student account. You can get your report card at your fingertips. So you can, look at test scores. You can look at, it's a whole attendance. It's a whole lot of things that you can look at, and also you can sign the consent form for the COVID-19 in-school testing on that on the My Student account as well. So please, if you have not signed up for this account goes not only for elementary, it goes all the way to high school. So you can even add your elementary students or all your students to the same account. So even if you're in different schools, all the kids can be on the same account and you can get access to all this great information.
And they're going to be making more stuff available on the My Student account. We're all shifting slowly into that digital age. So if you need, let's say, like a school letter, or you need the health form, everything is going to be right there for you. So it's kind of like cutting out the school in the terms of that communication. So it's really important that you make that My Student account for the grades, their IEPs, their 504s, to report bullying, to access their attendance, to check in on what they're doing. It's the best way. And teachers can also communicate with you through there too. So right now we're using Class Dojo, but we're in hopes that next year we can cut out Class Dojo and use everything on the My Student account. So please go ahead and make that account now. All right. I'll take this, Miss Blake.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody. So graduation requirements. Listen, it's like going to work. We have a job, right? And right now our 8th graders, their job is to be an 8th grader. And they have to have an attendance of 95% at least. If you are missing any more school than 95%, you are missing major information. That is a lot of school to be missing. I know 5% doesn't seem like much, but it really is, because if you remember going to school as a kid, if you miss one day of school, you come back, your teacher's on a completely different chapter. So imagine having to catch up on the work that you missed and learning the new material. So they have to have 95% of attendance. If you're concerned about your child's attendance, again, you can contact me and we can have a conversation on what your child's attendance is and if there's an issue and you need support. I've been working with many families to come up with a strategy on how to get their child attending school on time and attending school every day. And it may seem like a big issue, but it's usually simple, easy answers to fix something like that. So don't hesitate, call today. Scholars must pass all major subjects with a 65 or greater. That's ELA, math, humanities, and science. Scholars must complete 2 digital exit projects in science and social studies or humanities, right? They must pass the New York State science exam with a level 2 or higher and pass both the ELA and math assessments with a level 2 or higher. So scholars must complete an end of the year showcase portfolio in ELA and math. And also your kiddos should have been read 12 books by now, because by the end of the year, they have to read a minimum of 25 books and complete a book review for this year. So that's for all the 25 books. Does anyone have any questions on that?
Are we taking questions only on graduation requirements, or can we go back to a previous slide?
Just the graduation requirements for now.
Okay, I'll hold.
Okay. And you could put your question in the chat too, so that we have, I like knowing the questions and having a document of that. Is that weird? All right. So that's it. Make sure you look at your kids and you ask them, are you reading that book? They shouldn't be on the computer or on the phone or on TV every night. You should be seeing them reading a book or a poem too, or a short story. It doesn't have to always be a big book. Okay, so help them catch up with that, please. All right, Miss Blake.
Okay, senior dues. I know a lot of parents want to know about senior dues. Okay, senior dues, what does it consist of? Senior dues is the graduation ceremony, cap and gown, diploma case, t-shirt, keychain, autograph book. The senior breakfast or luncheon, we want the kids to vote on which one they want. It's a possible senior trip and prom. It all depends on the DOE guidelines. They haven't said anything to us as of yet, if we can have a prom or senior trip. But we want the kids to vote on that as well. Just letting you guys know, we have a very small class, 8th grade class. Our senior dues has been low, but a lot of things has gone up. So senior dues will not be $60 as it was last year, but the prices are going up. So I'm just giving you guys a heads up. Once we factor in everything, last year we had a graduation outside, we had a tent, we had a donation for someone to pay for the tent for us. So that cut a lot of the cost. So if we get another donation and, all the things comes into play with graduation. So at least by the end of February, you'll know exactly what the senior dues, the cost will be, and also who's on the right track for graduation. Okay. Oh, what's going on? Is that it? Okay. So I'm gonna stop sharing. Parents, if you have any questions, you can put it in the chat, or you could just raise your hand. I'm sorry.
So we have Natasha Jones Robinson. She has a great question.
Good afternoon, everyone. So my question was, are math and science teachers choosing students according to who they prefer to sit the regents, or are all the 8th grade students welcome and encouraged to take the test?
The latter. All students are welcomed and encouraged. Absolutely. We want all the children to take advantage of every opportunity that comes their way. And if they could get this under their belt now, they'll have less to do when they go into high school, where the work becomes even more rigorous. So yeah, they're all encouraged to take the regents.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We don't want to put no stop. We don't want to stop anyone from going all the way, getting their grades and getting those regents beforehand, because as we all know, high school is totally different from middle school. And if you can knock those out, the math, the algebra and the living environment, and they don't have to worry about that, that's fine. As of January, all the regents in high school were canceled. We do not know if the regents will be canceled in June. So that's why we're preparing for June. But they haven't said what, if they're going to cancel or not. We do know January, all the regents were canceled. we don't know what's going to happen in June. So as soon as we get that information, we're going to let you guys know. But I'm encouraging all the students, please, go to those region prep classes. And even it cannot hurt you. It could definitely help you. If they cancel the regions this year, you have the information for next year. So encouraging your students, please, go to those courses. Go to those classes.
Thank you, Ms. Blake. I'm sorry, Ms. Cruz, if I just want to jump in. We sent out letters late October to every 8th grader in the school we were having this integrated algebra prep, Regents prep on Saturdays virtually. Some of the children said, oh, I'd rather be in person. I don't want to go virtually. I said, well, we're going to start virtually because, we had just come back to school. And then hopefully in January, we'll be able to meet in person. Well, we know in January, we're not meeting in person. And in February, we probably will not meet in person because the virus is raging across our country. Now, this is the other thing that bothers me. Every Saturday that we've had this class, we've had one child attend, and then I get on the phone and I go into Google Classroom and I go to the classes every Friday to say, guys, remember, we have the session tomorrow at 9:00. Or I'll put it on Class Dojo. Remember, we have the session on Saturdays. And I have one student who's come every single time we've had the session. And some sessions, there were 3 students. Some sessions, there are 4. I'll go on, I'll come back, and then there's 2 because the students are coming and they're leaving. We're encouraging them to do this because when they if they go through this prep course, and they take the exam and they do well, they move into 10th grade math in high school. That's a semester, could be a semester early to graduate. And this is how I'm explaining it to them, to give them a little motivation and incentive to do that. Let's just get it done. We're working, to do that. And I'm paying someone to do it. It's free. And so all they have to do is get up on a Saturday morning, log in, it's on Google Classroom, click on the link, and Mr. Daniels is there. Now, some of the children who do come, the 2 or 3, there's one student who, like I said, who comes every week, and she's the only one who talks when the teacher is teaching something or asking questions. So, it's for everybody. It's not for just special ones. I thank the parent for asking that question. It's for everyone, students with IEPs, students, who are in general ed. It's for every 8th grade student. It doesn't matter if a student has an IEP. And I think Ms. Blake said, it's not going to do anything but help. It's not going to hinder. And so we're just asking you parents, put them on that computer on Saturday mornings and say, you know what? You don't want to do it, but you're going to do it. Because I've called parents on Saturday. I've called Ms. Rodriguez. I'm going to call you out, Ms. Rodriguez. And I said, Ms. Rodriguez, where's Jada? Oh, what? Oh, I forgot about it. Let me put her on. And she comes on. Can I tell everybody? No.
And you definitely finish a semester. I'm proofreading with Jalissa. Jalissa, she's moving on to the 10th grade. It's very good. It's less stress on you because you don't got to worry about it in high school. You could do it now, get it over and done with. You already got 1 Regents and you need 5. I think it's a very good opportunity. I will definitely take advantage of this opportunity. And it's free. Anything is free, I love.
Right. And it's free. It's free. So yes, the answer to the question is just for every 8th grade. It doesn't matter if it's girls, boys, IEP students. Everyone has the opportunity to go into the session. And the thing about it is you're with your classmates. So don't feel bad they shouldn't feel bad about asking questions or if they don't understand something, because that's what the teacher's there for.
Exactly. And you know what? Listening to you guys reminded me of really good points. This generation has been born into this digital age where everything is quick little mini bits of entertainment, information, and fun. And what our children are lacking are the ability to sit down and take a test with just pen and paper and their thoughts for an hour. It sounds like an eternity for them. If anything, if this Regents Prep can do anything, is to have your child practice to sit down and take an exam. We all know that they're not going to be able to do SATs and Regents and all these other exams throughout their life online because of the concern of cheating. There are some things in life where you're going to need to go sit down for an hour or two and just have your paper, your test, and your pencil. And the children really have to practice doing that. And I encourage all parents to have their child sit down and clock how long your child will sit and read a book for before they get distracted or bored and move on to something else. Because what that is they're just not used to doing that and it's not comfortable for them. But if you sit and you rehearse something like that every single day, okay, Johnny, you did it for 10 minutes today before I noticed you got distracted or you wanted to go do something else or get a glass of water. Tomorrow, we're going to aim for 11 minutes. All these small steps, it's going to support your child. If you have little ones or bigger ones right now, I strongly encourage you do that with them, because a child being able to sit alone with their thoughts and have just pen and paper with them is the hardest thing for a child to do right now. So start practicing now, because in the future, they're going to still have to take those paper exams. And Miss Odwin brought up a good point. If students can use Myon for their book reviews, absolutely. And I strongly encourage it, because the book that they read, based on how fast they read it and the level of book and all this other amazing stuff that a computer can do that I cannot, it will be able to assess your child reading ability and identify if there's any needs for more support so that your teacher gets that report. So yeah, definitely 100% use Myon. Does anyone have any other questions? Miss Samantha, 100%, I'm going to remind you, and Keegan, for the Regents prep.
Parents, please, if you have any questions, please let us know. Ms. Baggett or Ms. Yon, if you have anything you want to say, this is why we're here. We want to make sure that you know exactly, what's going on. And if you need any clarity, we want to make sure that you get that clarity.
And I know we only have like 5 8th grade parents here.
Mhm.
Parents, if you could spread this word to the parents of other 8th graders, when you talk to them, let them know about this important information. It would be greatly appreciated. Sometimes hearing it from somebody is more helpful than reading about it. So if you could tell them about these opportunities that they shouldn't be missing out on.
And this recording will be on our school website and our school YouTube page. So if you need to go back for reference, it definitely will be up there by tomorrow. Going once, anybody have any questions? Because that's the end of the presentation. We just want to make sure. Did we forget anything? Has COVID testing been increased to weekly? Yes, we take out COVID tests every single week. They did up it was 10%, now it's 20%. Am I right?
Yeah, 20% of those who have provided consent forms.
Right. So yes.
So that's another thing you could do on your My Student account is complete a COVID consent form. Also, once you create a My Student account, the biggest thing is that, so now your email is in there, right? So now you will be getting weekly emails from the DOE on your current school's COVID rates. So when we test, you see the results, not who, but you see the results and percentages. So
Right.
That's another great thing to do. It's another way to link to the DOE so that they have your most updated current information. You need to change your phone number, need to change your address, need to change anything. You do it on your My Student account. It is so beneficial.
Oh, and also if your child was exposed, we do have tests in the building, the COVID-19 test in the building. They get 2 tests. They test on the first day and the 5th day. So we just want to, to reiterate, we do have masks. We do have our updated PPE with masks and gloves and a whole bunch of cleaning supplies. So we have all that stuff in the building. So we're on the right track to make sure everyone is safe and everything is sanitized.
No one wants COVID.
At all. No. Okay, if your child don't know what school. When is the deadline?
I believe it's the 26th. I apologize. I don't have that information.
I believe it's a 20-something. Yeah, I think it was a 26. Samantha, I'll get that information for you by tomorrow. Or you can go on the DOE website and it's right on it. All you gotta do is type in high school and it's right there.
I could get it right now. So if your child doesn't know where to go to, you don't have to pick a program. There are schools that have a general high school, just like you and I went to. It doesn't have to be a fancy law school or math and science school. It could be a general program, a general high school program. It's no better and no worse than the other programs out there.
I wouldn't, as a parent, I wouldn't pick anything fancy because remember, these kids don't like to get up in the morning. They give us hard time to get up in the morning. I don't know about everybody else, but my children, I gotta say some words in Spanish so they know I mean business. Everybody got to go to school in this house. And I know my high school kids, the closer the better. Go to meet your school that's around here. There's a lot of schools. My two children go on Irving and Woodbine. It's called Social Justice. There's 3 schools in that school. I recommend. There's a lot of ones. There's one across the street from McDonald's, Acorn. That's a very good school, and it's right there on Broadway. If we look around, there's a lot of cute high schools. Just remember of the traveling. We get a lot of snow in the winter. We got to be mindful for our children to make sure that they graduate high school. It's very important.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Thank you, Ms. Rodriguez. No, you brought up a lot of good points and you recommended a lot of great schools. So the deadline is March 1st, but I really encourage you to not wait so long. Not that it would make a difference if you applied, as soon as it opens versus at the very end, but we don't want to wait till the very last moment because God forbid something happens, the websites are down, and you can't put in that application on time. What are we going to do then? So it's due March 1st, but let's aim for mid-February. I'll sit down and help you with high school choices. I sat down with Keegan when we first came back from break, and we've been talking about what he wants to do when he grows up. So it'll get done.
A question was asked about graduation photos. Yes, graduation photos. We was waiting for the springtime because we just took the holiday photos. I'm going to schedule them. I believe it's March or April. We'll definitely get the flyers out to the parents for graduation photos. The only thing with graduation photos, we have to get the cap and gowns in the building because due to COVID, we cannot have the children sharing, the cap and gown. So we have to have them in the building. So that means we have to get senior dues as soon as possible. So by February 1st, you'll get your senior dues letter and the prices, so we can get those payments in, so we can get the cap and gowns in, so the students can take their cap and gown photos in their cap and gown. Unless it would have to be like a black and white thing, and we don't want that. Students, parents, I know y'all want your cap and gown photos. Any other questions? Okay, so Ms. Alwyn, if anyone has anything else to say, if you don't have anything else to say, we can close out.
No, I don't have anything else to say. Thank you guys for inviting the parents to this meeting, and parents, thank you for your support.
Thank you so much. Thank you, parents. Please be safe. Keep your children safe. And if you need anything, we are here for you.
Thank you. Good night.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sneezing. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson, for doing our presentation. You're the bestest.
The best presentation ever. I love the little germ. Like, even though I hate the germ,
Yes.
I loved it. It was so cute.
Thank you so much.
See,
Everyone have a great evening.
Ms. Jackson, I'm going to ask you to do more presentations because when you do a good job, it's on you. She's not even there.
Good night, everyone.